Hey everyone, in this short video I want to take time and look at the second module within our course, and that's the Biology 112 Course Overview module. Let's take a minute and walk through each item within this module. So when we click on the module header, the module expands and we can look at each of the items specifically contained within the module. The first item is our course objectives. These are outlined in the syllabus as well, but please familiarize yourself with these 6 objectives because this will be the focus of the course. The next item is our course structure. How is the course set up? The course is set up into 4 units. Unit 1 is the cellular foundation of life. This contains the first 5 chapters of your textbook. Unit 2, the Cell Division and Genetics unit. This unit contains Chapter 6, Chapter 8, and Chapter 9. Unit 3, Evolution and the Diversity of Life, contains Chapter 11 and Chapter 12. And Unit 4, Ecology, contains Chapter 19 and Chapter 20. You can see here that I highly recommend that you complete each unit in its entirety and that you finish each module, and the subsequent module will unlock for you to complete it. It is best to complete this course in sequence. Okay? Although you can skip around within a unit, I highly recommend completing it in sequence. The activities that have been set up for this course are listed here. Within each module you'll see your module resource folder, and those module resource folders contain items that will help you succeed while you learn the content. You can see I will have copies of my lecture slides, transcripts of those lectures, a reading guide or study guide. As you read the chapter, you can go through and answer these questions to help you better understand the content. Vocabulary worksheets. It's very important to learn the vocabulary, especially in a science course, because it may be different from everyday language that you normally use. And then, probably most important, is our assignment checklist. So at the beginning of each module, you'll see your assignment checklist. Make sure you print these off and check off each item as you complete it. Therefore, you know that you are completing all the assignments prior to the due dates. The graded activities within this class, we have our VoiceThread watch assignments. So typically it will take you anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to watch one of my lectures or one of my videos. These will count as attendance. You must watch each one in its entirety for you to gain full credit. At the end of each lesson, we have our quick check quizzes. These quick check quizzes can be completed as many times as you would like, so those are unlimited attempts. What does that mean? You can try, and try again. Okay? You want to obtain the highest grade possible on these quizzes. Each lesson will have a VoiceThread comment section. These are similar to discussion boards that you may have had in previous online courses. I will post the original thread, so you'll see me reading a question from our textbook, and then I open it up for you to comment on my thread, and then for you to comment on one of your classmates' threads. So you need to do both of those in order to get full credit. We also have VoiceThread Create assignments. This is similar to the VoiceThread comment activities, but instead of commenting on your peers' thoughts or posts, you'll just be strictly communicating with me regarding a critical thinking question from each chapter. At the end of each chapter, you will have a test. These tests are approximately 50 questions, multiple choice, and unlike the quick check quizzes, you will only have one attempt on these tests. So make sure that you study prior to taking the test, and I highly recommend using the resources available in the beginning chapter resource folder to make sure you are prioritizing your study time and also studying efficiently. At the end of each chapter, you will have a survey to complete, and these are simple reflection surveys over each module. I want to know what you thought about the module. I want to know about your strengths and weaknesses within the module, and I want you to give me honest feedback about how I could possibly improve the course. At the end of each unit, you will have a reflective entry that I call your journal reflections. These are a little bit more in depth than the end of chapter surveys, and they also are reflective of the entire unit. So you only have 4 of these over the course of the semester. And again, these are completely subjective, but I do use a rubric on the journal reflections. So make sure you familiarize yourself with that rubric, and it's located in the syllabus. I have also posted the rubrics here on this item found within our course overview. So here's our VoiceThread comment rubric. So download and print these and make sure you familiarize yourself with all of the criteria that you will be assessed on. Here's our VoiceThread create. These are those individual presentations between you and your instructor. Your VoiceThread watch assignments, and this is counted as your attendance grade. So simply all you have to do is watch the lectures from beginning to end and you get full credit. And then here's our journal rubric. Make sure you download each of these rubrics, familiarize yourself with the criteria so that you can gain the maximum amount of points for each assignment. Listed in this folder are some how-to videos that our college has created. So I highly recommend watching these if you're not familiar with VoiceThread, and it gives you a detailed description how to submit VoiceThread watch assignments, how to submit VoiceThread comment assignments, and how to submit VoiceThread create assignments. The next item, course completion. How do you complete the course? Simply complete each module within each unit. If you do that, I guarantee you will be happy with the grade you have earned in this course. Please make sure you are completing all of the assignments by the given due date. I do not give extensions on assignments unless there are emergency situations or extenuating circumstances that may prevent you from completing those assignments by the given deadline. I would like to let you know that by using Blackboard Ultra for this course delivery, you can download the Blackboard mobile app and have access to everything within the course shell that you would have normally on a PC or Mac. And you can also use the app on a tablet, such as an iPad. So I would highly recommend downloading this app, and it details here how you can go about downloading Blackboard mobile app. If you are using a computer, Chromebook, or Mac, the computer requirements are listed here, and you may have to download Adobe Flash, or I would also recommend downloading multiple browsers, because sometimes Blackboard may throw a little fit and Chrome may not work, but Firefox works great, or vice versa. So download multiple browsers just in case you may need them in the future. Okay, so that concludes the course overview navigation, but at the very end of the navigation we see another assignment that needs to be completed by January 23rd at 11:59 p.m. This is our pre-test to the course, and if you can see in the description, this is an exam that we give to all students enrolled in Biology 112 across the college and in all settings. So students at Maysville, Montgomery, LVC, and Round who are taking Biology 112 will all take the same exam. We use this exam as an objective measure of the knowledge you have in science before enrolling in the course. Okay, so like I say here, no sweat, try your best. If you complete it, you get full credit. Okay, so there are no right or wrong answers on the pretest. Okay, any and all that complete the pretest in full will receive full credit. Okay, I think that's all I have for our course navigation video. If anyone has any questions about any of the items that we've discussed, please feel free to contact me via email, phone, make sure you dial the right extension, or you can set up a virtual meeting through OneSub. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.